This app could be the end of YouTube. It's called Wiser. You can listen to hundreds of book summaries from every category. Self-growth, business. To be honest, I've been watching so many of your videos. They're all just, brilliant. Just sort of answer a lot of, people having doubts. It would help clarify a lot of doubts. And I suppose the most recent thing that I've seen is more like reflecting upon is the misunderstandings of the Dharmakaya and emptiness, and like thinking about like, oh, it's just hollow. It's like there's nothing. It just kind of sounds like dread when you say it like that, But when really it's it's empty of limitation. Is that?
Empty of illusion. Buddha nature is empty of illusion and blind passions. When you Tom, you will be Buddha. Tom the Buddha, you will be empty of illusion, empty of blind passions, empty of limitations, but you will be filled full with
always keep your eye on the prize.
With enlightened qualities. So
so it's not like I have heard the word hollow being used, but would you say hollow isn't really? Sounds a bit like sad.
Yeah.
No, that's not it. It's not bliss.
And for example, yes, in some samsaric phenomena, samsaric things appear due to causes and conditions. They do not exist independently of causes and conditions. So this means that they do not have true existence. So they are empty of true existence because they depend on causes and conditions. While Buddha nature or ultimate reality in which you will dwell when you become Buddha, that is not created. That does not exist because of causes and conditions. It exists by itself. That's why it is eternal in the sense that it has no beginning and no end. So that's why
I always keep my options open.
That the reality, so-called reality in samsara is dreamlike. It does not have true realities. Like, for example, when you dream, everything in the dream looks real. You see people, you see various landscapes, and they seem real. So they don't have true reality, you see. But when you wake up from the dream, then you realize the dream was just a dream. It has an illusory appearance, but you wake up in the true reality. See, that's when you become Buddha, you wake up. That's why the Buddhas are called awakened ones. You wake up from the dream, and Nagarjuna said, you laugh. You realize, oh, that was just a dream. So, yes, unfortunately, dear Tom, many nowadays present this teaching on emptiness in a wrong way. So they make people get away from Buddhism. See?
Yeah. It's not good.
Both strong and
like nothing.
I always have a backup.
Melancholy.
Yeah.
Melancholic.
Well, also they try to say that it's just a philosophy. And TikTok Tom did that. It's like, hey, you can be a good Catholic, good Christian, good atheist, whatever you want, or as someone once told me, whatever makes you happy makes the Buddha happy. Well, that's not based on dharmic truth. That's false heresy. That's false teaching.
Because we are not the happiness that we can find in samsara. That's false happiness. It's dependent on the presence of various causes and conditions. When you have Turkish tea, you are happy. So your happiness is dependent on the presence of Turkish tea, or in the case of Joshin, of many ladies. But when the ladies he's sad. Then he goes to another lady, and he's happy again. So his happiness is dependent on the presence of ladies. So it's an empty happiness.
Certainly would be.
Yeah. And he's just waiting to reach true happiness. You know? Happiness that doesn't depend on ladies, but that is inherent in our nature. Actually, we are inherently happy. You see, that's why nirvana means absence of illusion, but it's also described in terms of true freedom, true happiness. You know, actually, Buddhism is not a pessimistic path, but is a path to true happiness. Yes. So the more you detach, the more you let go of false emptiness, of illusions and so on, the happier you become. Yes.
Yeah, there's many misunderstandings out there in the world of Buddhism, I think. So it's imperative to correct, or when you hear things like that.
Yes. That's why it's important to understand the basic Buddhist teaching. My book on emptiness, Simple Teachings on Emptiness and Buddha Nature, does exactly this. It shows how we should understand this concept of emptiness. See, and I give a lot of Buddhist quotes. Actually, that book is composed of many quotations. Each chapter is followed by a chapter filled only with quotations and passages from various sutras. So that we don't fall into the heresy of negating the existence of Buddhas, for example, because we say everything is empty. Then many actually come to say that all Buddhas are also empty, like they don't exist. No, they are empty of illusion. I mean, you don't find illusion and suffering and limitations in the Buddha. That's what emptiness means when it is applied to Buddhas. And when it is applied to us, it means that our existence is dependent on various causes and conditions, and so it is ephemeral, it is like a dream. And our realizations also, so-called spiritual realizations, are dreamlike also. Yeah. That's why Shirashuni said, Nembutsu alone is true and real. It's very important to the teaching. Nembutsu is true and real because it is rooted in true reality. It is not rooted in our samsaric illusions. It comes from the Buddha, from Amida Buddha. The name of Amida comes from Amida. Was manifested by Amida Buddha from true reality, from Dharmakaya. So that's why it is real. That's why in our dreamlike existence, when we say Namo Amida Buddha, we are actually in connection with true reality of the Buddhas, of Amida Buddha, of the Buddha. Also, Shinjin which is actually the essence of Nembutsu, because true Nembutsu is the Nembutsu of faith. So Shinjin also connects us with the world of enlightenment. Shinjin that is true and real, says Shinran. It is true and real because its roots, the roots of Shinjin are in Amida Buddha. We entrust to Amida because of Amida. Because of Amida's influence, we entrust to him. See? It's very profound teachings here. Yeah. That's
Rise
why
to the
Shinjin
top,
is the
or
cause
get
of
left in the dust.
liberation. Yes. That's why the name of Amida has the power to destroy all negative karma. Because negative karma are illusion-like. Imagine that you have a scale and you put here all the evil karma of all samsaric beings. You see? And you put here the name of Amida. It's like that, it's like you put a sumo wrestler, the name of Amida, and a feather. So all our karmic evils weight like a feather in comparison with Amida's power and Amida's name. That's why we are safe, because the name of Amida is filled with infinite enlightened qualities, and it is rooted in ultimate reality. So that's why, for the name of Amida Buddha, our blind passions and karmic sins actually don't exist. You know, they are like non-existence, non-existent. When Daigen Sensei practiced Zen. See this $10,000 job I just quoted? Most trace business owners think that they're making 30% profit on that, but they're actually only making 23%. And 7% difference is the reason why you can't pay your rent, your bills, and your payroll. This one pricing mistake robs you tens or even hundreds of thousands of profit every year. Most trace business owners confuse markup with margin, and it's killing your business. Let me show you the quick fix with our pricing calculator. You simply punch in your real costs, labor here, materials there, and your overheads right here. Then, instead of guessing at a markup, you enter your target profit margin. The calculator instantly shows you the exact price. When Daigen Sensei practiced Zen. Yeah.
Me acuerdo de que estudiamos el sutra de la plataforma.
They used to study the sutra of the platform.
Sí, de Huayna.
Of the six patriarch. Yeah,
Sí.
yeah, the six patriarch. Huinei, yeah.
Huayna. Y bueno, la asamblea le pedía al sexto patriarca que le mostrara al Amitabha.
The assembly asked them to show them Amida Buddha.
Y bueno, el sexto patriarca le dio una enseñanza que me acuerdo de una forma figurativa de la tierra de sus corazones.
Gave a lesson.
Decía que si uno cerrara los ojos y que si uno hacía buenas acciones y todo eso.
We had invested 40% of our military budget in naval and air power. Most countries have invested about 70% in the Army. We were very careful not to turn the American Army loose against the Wehrmacht. And when we did in Italy and we did in France, we paid a terrible price. Even as Germany was falling apart, even when Germany was being bombed 24/7, the German Army killed in Europe between June of 1944 and May of 1945, 1.7 American soldiers for every German that was killed, including German soldiers that were bombed. So you can imagine what we were up against. It was the greatest army that was ever produced in terms of fighting power, not logistics or support. We had invested 40% of our military budget in naval and air power. Most countries have invested about 70% in the Army. We were very careful not to turn the American Army loose against the Wehrmacht. And when we did in Italy and we did in France, we paid a terrible price. Even as Germany was falling apart, even when Germany was being bombed 24/7, the German Army killed in Europe between June of 1944 and May of 1945, 1.
Seat taken?
That's all yours. Haven't seen you before. Around here?
I don't get out much. You got Chivas 25?
Sure do.
Decía que si uno cerrara los ojos y que si uno hacía buenas acciones y todo eso, estaba la tierra.
If you close your eyes, you'll get to the pure light.
Si tenía buenas
Keep your wits about
If
you.
you had good, like pure thoughts, you'll get to it. Actually, the sixth patriarch, in that situation, he said, if you are a
Always keep your eye on the price.
Attention to detail is the key to success.
Is there money to be made? I always keep my options open.
昨天美国那边以非常小的优势通过了川普的大漂亮法案。这个大漂亮法案简单来说啊，就是劫贫济富，富绅的钱是如数奉还，百姓的钱是3七分成，将会有1200万医保就没着落了，所有那些都的像食品券之类的东西也都被大幅提升。美国再次向中国产生了什么叫第一人权优势？为什么要提这个事儿呢？因为我经常听到一个观点。说啊，在国内如果你收入特别低，什么都不会，还应该去美国，到美国那边去追求你的幸福生活，$1的垃圾随便吃，半年的收入买大别野。结果真的就有不少人去骗我，然后变成电子宠物。但是大家想想，最近这几年看到的电子宠物是。
Let us not dawdle.
I sense something nearby. A trivial task.
Rise to the top or get left in the dust.
Watch your steps. My success was inevitable.
Is there money to be made?
Too hard for a simple monkey?
Keep your wits about you.
Speak, Elantak. The songs of my ancestors speak of stars long forgotten and worlds long gone. What a shame that you lack the capacity to understand even a single note.
I always keep my options open.
这几年看到的电子宠物是不是到现在基本上都养死了？这说明一个什么问题呢？美国这个国家这个社会啊，它的底线是非常低的，根本不拿底层老百姓当人看。而中国呢，咱们的底线是非常高。